Hey y'all, happy Monday. Today we're going to do a little recap instead of over a rescue box I've done, but a recap over the items that I sent into the RealReal last month. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Christina. I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and the RealReal. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about the RealReal. So I did a video last month, which I will link up above if you didn't catch that, going over the items that I was consigning into the RealReal for their promotion in January. They had a promotion that was running that if you could consign in 10 items that they listed for $100 or higher, you would get a $100 credit. And I'd been kind of stockpiling items for a while and decided that last month was the month I was going to finally ship that box out. So I wanted to go over the items that they accepted, what they are listed for. I sent in a total of 21 items and 2 are still like pending or processing that they haven't actually posted. So I don't have pictures. Well, they're kind of like faded out pictures while they're processing. So I'll put what I can on the screen for those items, but I didn't want to wait any longer. I wanted, since everything else is live, I wanted to go ahead and do the update and then let you know what they accepted and how much they listed each item for, to see kind of how close my ballpark was on what my payout will be. Now, none of these have sold yet, so I don't actually have the final payout, but I wanted to at least give an update on what they took and what they did not. So let's get into it right away. The first item that I sent in, which was from a men's designer box that I got from thredup, was an Etro men's splatter shirt. Now, for me, I have trouble moving Etro on my own, so as long as it's in good condition, I always send it into the RealReal, and they tend to do so much better selling it. Now, I kind of thought that this one would be priced around the $100 mark based on the uniqueness of the print. However, it's not quite what happened. This one was in a plaid, and then it had kind of this, it looked like someone splattered like water on it. So it had like these watermarks throughout. I thought it was really cool. But the more unique the print is with Etro, in my experience, the higher they price the item. And then they also base it off of the type of material. So the silk items get listed higher than like the cotton, etc. So I had estimated they would probably list it around 100. I was wrong. They did accept it, but they listed it on their site for sale for $40. So if I would have known that they were going to list it that low, I probably would not have sent that in. Or I would have requested it back and then sent it in again at a different time with somebody else that might be going through the box. Maybe they would have listed it higher. However, they made some changes over the summer where you have to then pay to have an item sent back to you. It's not complimentary anymore. So by the time I would pay that and then try to sell it on my own, it's definitely not worth it. But that one is currently listed at $40. So my commission will not be very good. Okay. The next item that I sent in was a Burberry pink, like weatherproof or waterproof puffer coat. It's in the hot pink. It's got a fur-lined collar. It had some water stains on it that I had to clean up. I did that, sent it in. I had guessed that they were going to list it for around 150. They accepted it and they listed at 210. That has since dropped because it was one of the ones that got listed the soonest. It's now down to 168 because once they have it for a certain amount of time, they start dropping the price. So hopefully someone buys that soon. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was a pair of black Gucci slides, and these had the mini GGs imprinted over the top. These really came in pretty good condition. I think, because this is not the first pair of slides I've gotten in a designer box, it is really hard to find the size on the slides by Gucci. So I think that that's why the pairs of slides that I've gotten have been in the box, because they've been really in really good condition. And that's another reason I sent these in, because I couldn't figure out the size. Anyways, I had guessed that they were going to list these for about $250. These did get accepted, and they are listed for $345, y'all, for a pair of slides. It's crazy. I'm definitely happy with that and hope that that sells soon as well. And I will say, okay, so I sent in 21 items. I have 2 that are still processing, and then I only had 1 that they did not accept. So that's like a record for me, okay? Like, because I feel like usually they're always sending stuff back to me. All right, the next item that I sent into the RealReal was an Oscar de la Renta blazer that was vintage. Now, I called it a blazer because it was kind of short sleeved. It doesn't have a button to close in the front. They listed it as a vest. So, I don't know, it's somewhere in between those two things, blazer and vest. I'm not really sure. I had guessed that they were going to list it at about 100, and they listed it at 155. So I'm happy about that. The next item that I sent into them was a Carolina Herrera blazer. And this had a ruffle like around the top of the blazer. And it was like right here and right here on the shoulders. It was all discolored. And so I did clean that, and I got most of that out, whatever that was. I don't know if it was like makeup, like from someone's face maybe that was right near there. I'm not sure because it was kind of brown and the blazer is gray. I did notice when I was cleaning it that there were like kind of some light, like the ruffles were starting to have some wear on them. So I was a little concerned they might not accept it, but they did. I had thought that they would list it around 125. However, they ended up listing it for 70. So I was a little disappointed about that, but it did have wear to it. So that may be part of the reason that they listed that a little bit lower. But if I can avoid selling a blazer, I'm going to. Okay. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was by the brand Ronnie Kobo. And this was in, oh, I love this dress. I wish it was in my size because I would totally keep this. But it was in a gray and black plaid. And then the top was also that gray and black plaid. And then the kind of crossover, because it was kind of like almost like a wrap on the top, was in like a bronze metallic color. Really nice. There was a little bit of tearing under the shoulder, and I did repair that. I believe, now I can't remember. I didn't take very good notes, y'all. That one I'm guessing will list for about $225. This is one of the ones that is still processing, but I believe that it says it's accepted and it's coming soon. So we're still waiting on that one. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was a St. John, I wrote down blazer on here. It's not really a blazer. It's like a light jacket. It is in the cutest print, okay, like pinks and yellows. And this one I was going to list on my own. I actually did photograph it and then realized that I couldn't find the size. So I ended up sending this into them mainly for that reason. That one they did accept and listed for $105. The next item that I sent into the RealReal, and by the way, I got all of these items out of thredup DIY designer boxes. So it's kind of like a rescue box recap, except it's not really from one rescue box. It's from a bunch of them on items that I pulled, cleaned, repaired, and sent into the RealReal. Okay, so this dress was gorgeous. I love self-portrait dresses. I think they're phenomenal. This was in a long yellow floral print. It was a mixed like fabric, so mixed print, different prints in yellow with flowers, so pretty. And it was long, it was like a maxi. And this one, the only thing that was wrong with it was the back almost had a little bit of a, not a train, but it like was a little bit longer in the back, and it was dirty along that bottom part. So I just laundered it. It came right out. That I had guessed that they were going to list for $250, and they did accept it, and they listed it for $365. Very happy about that. Okay, the next item that I sent into the RealReal is one I had sent in before that they returned back to me and said it had interior staining, which I like found the smallest little stain. that it was so small I had missed it the first time. So I cleaned it, sent it back into them. This is a pair of Bottega Veneta leather pants. They're in excellent condition, so I can only guess that thredup did not accept them because of that interior stain. These are in a lambskin, so soft, in a very light kind of taupe or tan leather. And I had guessed that these were going to list about $750. So when I was doing comps on this, it's kind of all over the place on these Bottega Veneta leather pants. Some are listed very high, like over $1,000, and some are listed closer to like $350. And it seemed to me the ones that are lambskin tended to be listed higher. So my guess on these is that they were going to list about $750. They weren't. They were listed at $460. So I'm still very happy about that. I just thought because they were lambskin, they would be listed a little bit higher. So a little disappointed about that, but super happy that they got accepted and they're listed at a good price. The next item I sent into the RealReal was by the brand Millie New York. This is a vintage dress that has kind of a black top, and then the skirt is in a black and white print. It's really, really pretty. I decided to send this in just because it was in good condition and I was trying to get enough items sent in to get that promo. I had guessed, if I was lucky, that they would list this about $100. They did accept it. It's listed at $65. So a little disappointed I didn't hit the $100 mark on that one, but I'm happy that they've accepted it and photographed it and are going to be selling that for me. Okay, the next item I sent into the RealReal, I actually did not think they were going to accept this item because of the wear on the hardware. This is a Prada belt that I got in one of the thredup DIY boxes. The leather is in really good condition. The only thing that is maybe off about it a little bit is that outside of the stitching, there was one area where the leather was separating from the base. And so I just glued that down. The stitching was fine. It was just a little separated there. So I wasn't worried about that, but the hardware, the gold tone hardware had a ton of wear to it. And I thought, I don't know if they're going to take it. If they do take it, it might not be listed high, but I went ahead and rolled the dice on this. My guess was that they were going to list it if they accepted it at about $150. They did accept it and listed it at $155. So I was right on the mark there. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was another Gucci. I love sending Gucci into the RealReal. They do not discount Gucci as quickly as they will discount other items, FYI. So even if it's been on their site for 2 weeks, it might stay up longer before they start dropping the price because it sells really well there. This was a pair of loafer mules in black. They had a little bit of scuffing on the front, and they did have some kind of wrinkling at the crease of like the toe, but overall in really good condition. I had guessed that they were going to list these for about $400. Now, when these first got added to the site, when you send it in, it said they were not accepted due to scuffing. And I was like, oh no. I was like, they did have some scuffing, but I thought I cleaned them up pretty good. But then it changed. So this can happen from time to time. I've even had items they've accepted and put for sale and then taken down and reviewed and then not accepted anymore. So it's never safe until it's actually sold and not returned. But this ended up getting accepted and listed for $365. So I was really happy about that. The next item I sent into the RealReal was by the brand Chanel. And maybe some of you remember me getting this pair of shoes that had kind of a metal heel on the back. These are vintage, and there was a lot of creasing in the toe at the front. But overall in really good condition. So I cleaned them, I conditioned them, I stuffed the toes before I sent them in. And I had guessed that they were going to list these for about $350 if they got accepted. They did accept them. They listed them for $275. So I was happy with that. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was by the brand Jimmy Choo, and this was a handbag. Now, the good thing about sending the handbags into the RealReal is that they are final sale. There's no returning and people sending stuff back and then going back up on the site. So When I can send a handbag into them, I do. Now, I did have this one listed myself for a while, and for whatever reason, Jimmy Choo doesn't sell that well for me. Even though they have great bags and shoes, I have an easier time with Manolos, which are another one I get commonly in the box than I do with Jimmy Choo. So this bag didn't get a ton of attention for me. I love it. It was in good condition. It had a little bit of wear on the corners. I touched those up and conditioned the bag and sent it in. And they did accept it. I had guessed that they were going to list it for $175, and they listed it for $175. Isn't that funny? So I'm thrilled with that. Hopefully that will sell soon, and I can get the money for that. The next item that was in the box I sent into the RealReal was by Prada, and this was a pair of wool pants. This was in my repair bin, and I'm not sure why, because I pulled them out because I was trying to throw in as many items as I could, and they were in perfect condition. So I'm not sure why I had put them in that box, unless when I received them, maybe it was during the summer, and I thought, well, I'll deal with these later because they're a wool pant. I'm not sure. So I had guessed that they were going to list these for $150. They did accept them, and they listed them for $210. So that was great. The next item I sent into the RealReal was another Jimmy Choo, because again, if I can send in Jimmy Choo, I'm going to. This is a pair of toe heels. They're in a really pretty suede, and then the toe has kind of maybe some sort of crocodile over the point on the toe. That had a little bit of scuffing to it, so I cleaned that up, sent those in. I had guessed that they would list them for about $150, and they listed them for $155. Okay, the next item, which was the one that was not accepted from the whole box, was a pair of Manolo black patent heels. And these also had kind of a Mary Jane strap over the top. They, I think, are probably vintage. The patent was a little bit sticky, so I cleaned it and got those in great shape. They did not accept them. They said for scuffing. So I'm going to have to re-examine the patent. I really remember it being in pretty good condition, but I'll have to double check that when I get it back from them. It's already been shipped back, so I should get it back soon. But that was the one that wasn't accepted. That's okay. I can sell Manolos myself. I had guessed that they would list that for $250, but they didn't accept it, so that one's a 0. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was another pair of Pradas. This was Prada Sport, which is kind of the diffusion line of Prada. So they don't sell for as much as the regular Prada line. These were really adorable. They were in a black suede, and they were a wedge booty. If these were in my size, I 100% would have kept these. I loved them. They really were in pretty good shape. I just did some suede brushing on them. They looked great. I had guessed that they were going to list these for about $150. No, y'all. They listed them for $85. So I was a little bit disappointed about that. Felt like they should have been listed a little bit higher than that. So anyway, that one was kind of a womp womp, but it's fine. You win some, you lose some. I have some they listed for higher, some they listed for right at what I guessed, and some they listed for lower. The next item I sent in was by the brand Acne. I'm going to see how these do, because I have several other pairs of Acne that have gotten no movement in my closet. And so if these do well in the RealReal, I probably will just send in what I have, because they're not moving for me. This was, I believe, just a black pair of pants. I'm guessing that these will be listed around the $100 mark. However, this is the other thing that is still processing. So I don't have the price on what they're going to ask for that. The next item that I sent into the RealReal was by Alexander McQueen. Woohoo. I love when I get Alexander McQueen. And this was a crop top, and it had an exposed zipper in the back. They had several of these in different colors up on the RealReal, and so I had guessed that they were going to list this for about $250, and they did accept it and listed it for $245. So I was very close on that one. The only thing that was wrong with this was that because it was white, it had some staining under the arms, and I just used the tub of towels and scrubbed that and it came right out. So no problem there. The next item that was sent into the RealReal with this batch of stuff was by the brand Red Valentino. So this is their diffusion line, and this was a really structured, beautiful navy dress in excellent condition. And so I decided to just go ahead and send this in. I had guessed that they were going to list it for about $150, and they did accept it and listed it at $125. So originally I had guessed, that my commissions on all of these would total out, if they sold for what they listed for, which they never do, would be about $2,300. So when I made the adjustments on what they did accept, how much they were accepted for, I think I'm off by about $400 or $500 on what I will get for commission. So when you subtract out the cost of goods on all these items, I originally thought I'd be making around $1,900, but it looks like it'll probably be closer to $1,450. So hopefully all of these items that have just gone up will start selling and they don't get discounted down too much, and I'll make close to my goal. I at least did hit the mark to get the promo, so I'm excited for that to get deposited into my account so I can start doing some shopping. I hope you guys enjoyed this update about what they took, what they didn't take, how much they listed things for, etc. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a thredup mixed jewelry box, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you've hit that notification bell so you can join me for that. And then on Thursday, I will be doing a thredup fun box. So make sure you come back for thredup Thursday and we will open that together. Bye, y'all.